Disclaimer. This is a work of fiction created for a class project. Please do not take anything I am about to say seriously. Strange animals throughout history, an alien legacy. Throughout human history, humans have depicted strange human-animal hybrid creatures through art. This occurs across cultures on every continent. How can we explain this strange cross-cultural phenomenon? Obviously, people could not have independently come up with these creatures. They had to have seen them in person. The sheer diversity of these creatures means that Earth must have been visited by multiple extraterrestrial species in the past, whose existence is only now recorded in art and folklore. The LOWENMENSCH, or Lion Man, was discovered in a German cave in 1939. The depiction of a half-lion, half-human hybrid is bizarre to us today, but actually represents a common species during the Upper Paleolithic. The aliens took on the form of a human-lion hybrid to interact with the primitive population. While mainstream archaeologists say there is no evidence for this creature, in reality they are just trying to hide the evidence from the public. Another ancient example comes from the depiction of ancient Egyptian gods. From this picture, you can see that the ancient Egyptians worshipped a number of hybrid creatures, including those of humans mixed with hippos, various birds, and more. The ancient Egyptians were actually depicting their reality, which was the multitude of different aliens that came to visit Egypt. The extraterrestrials came because the hot, dry climate helped them to clear their sinuses. Alien sinus infections are no joke, so Egypt became a sort of intergalactic spa. The Egyptians were so impressed by one visitor, named Kit 10, that they preserved him in a giant statue that has been emblematic of Egypt ever since, the Great Sphinx. This is located at Giza along with the pyramids. While traditional archaeologists say the pyramids were actually tombs, they are completely and utterly wrong. No bodies have ever been found in the pyramids, and besides that, how could people build them without modern technology? Clearly, Kit 10 built them as a sign of his gratitude to the Egyptians for curing his sinus infection. And the Egyptians in turn built the Sphinx to thank him for his marvelous gift. The Sphinx is a much smaller structure, so easier for these ancient peoples to build. Kit 10 traveled throughout the world, which explains why there are so many accounts of half-cat, half-man creatures. For example, the people of Romania commemorated his visit by carving his likeness on a mountain, a formation that is now called the Bucec Sphinx. Kit 10 traveled all the way to Asia, where his likeness was stylized and became the guardian lions used to guard palaces and tombs. This depiction of Kit 10 is from the Forbidden City in Beijing. Kit 10 left the Earth after about 1,000 years. The next alien to visit was a wolf-like creature called Dog-O. She is known today as the she-wolf that raised Romulus and Remus, the founders of Rome. However, what the history books don't tell us is that these two brothers were actually half man, half wolf, giving rise to the legend of the werewolf. The she-wolf mated with a local of the Italian peninsula, giving birth to the twins. The art shows clear evidence of the close bond between the mother and her children. In Mesoamerica, the mysterious Olmec heads are thought by archaeologists to depict a ritual where people would turn into jaguars. They are actually right on this count, though they assert that the transformation was figurative, when it clearly was a literal transformation. This was another group of aliens who used shape-shifting technology to hide their true forms from the local inhabitants. When this technology failed, the locals were amazed by what they saw and commemorated the event in these faces. So where did these aliens come from, and why don't we see them today? There are a number of theories. One is the Planet 9, which scientists have identified as being in our solar system, out past Pluto. Another possibility is from planets orbiting Orion's belt. The constellation is so clear out here on Earth that the aliens might have picked our planet for the great view of their home world. Why don't we see them today? That is a mystery that might never be solved. Most likely, they still live among us, but are keeping a low profile. As this rigorous scientific study has shown, clearly the widespread use of human-animal hybrid iconography is the result of a multitude of contacts between ancient peoples and aliens. If you want to learn more, check out some of my sources.